Ready?
Yeah, they're dating life.
Just excitement, death rally, excitement, death rally, excitement, death rally. Action. So the first question for you guys: what do you guys actually do at Blue Learn?
So Blue Learn is India's second largest internship platform. We help students learn a new skill and get their first internship or freelancing gig.
Okay.
In Crux, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Rohan, from your side,
What Blue Learn does or what I do it?
you actually do at Blue Learn.
Okay, cool. So I had product at Blue Learn. So roughly, if I had to tell you a bird's eye view, deciding what to build, why to build, and when to build. That's what I take care of.
Oh yeah, so from my side, I take care of community growth and partnerships. So on the community front, we look at the events that keeps happening, the activities, hackathons, all the athons that keep happening, collaborations and partnerships. Let's say scalar collaboration is one thing that we've taken care of. So that's my part.
Okay, that's great. And Shreyans, can you just take us on the side of how you actually started? How will your story from childhood be like? I just want three of you to get on that and go deep into that.
Childhood.
Crazy. So I was actually born and brought up in US. I spent the first 12 and a half, 13 years of my life in Boston, along with all my early schoolings up to 6th grade. And then I moved to Bangalore in 7th grade, changed 4 different schools between 7th and 12th, and then got into BITS Goa where I met Harish and Rohan. And that's... Up until then, I was not interested in entrepreneurship at all. I was interested in finance. In fact, I still am, love stock trading, have dabbled in a little bit of options and stuff like that. But there was actually this quote that I heard from one of my cousins that said, when you're in college, try to find the most interesting person in the room. Not the smartest, not the coolest, but the most interesting, right? And during our first class together, one of the teachers had asked us to introduce each one on the stage. And so Harish went up, and so before Harish, we all went up and we said, hi, my name is Shreyans, I like music, reading, books, whatever, generics, right? Yeah. Harish went up and said, I like building companies. And I thought, damn, that's the most interesting answer anyone has given so far. And that's when, after that whole session, I went to his room and I said, listen, bro, I mean, I think what you're doing is pretty cool. I know a little bit of SEO, content writing, blogging. If you ever need my help in any of your things, do let me know. And then I forgot about it, right? I didn't think anything would happen. But 2 weeks later, Harish comes to my room and he says, listen, I found a client who wants 30 blogs written and website redesign. He said, I'll do the website, you do the blogs, whatever the money is, we'll split it. Okay. And I'm like, let's do it, bro. And since that time, we've been working together. That was first year. That was legit the first month or second month of college. And since then, it's been, we started off as an agency, digital marketing agency. Then we evolved into a chatbot agency where we made chatbots for other companies. That grew into Hulock, which was our first official company. And then that kept going into Clinify and today at Blue Learn. So I think the evolution of a startup journey is that you can't plan for entrepreneurship. It happens, it evolves, and I think you just have to go with the flow and figure things out. Yeah, I think that's my journey.
So Rohan, from your side.
Me, I've grown up fully in Bangalore, born in Kolar actually, but ever since, I think one day after being born, I've stayed in Bangalore throughout. So throughout schooling, I was very interested in cricket, played a lot of cricket, even in BITS was part of the cricket team. And in 11th and 12th, I got interested in finance, very similar to Shreyans. So learned a lot about basics about economics, stock markets, how they work before BITS. And luckily, after joining BITS, BITS had very good finance culture, like the clubs and the support they had for finance was, I think, not many colleges in India have that. And I knew from an early stage, I didn't want to get into tech. Like I was always looking for non-tech roles. And in BITS, because of the finance and consulting cultures, those were the 2 roles I got most exposed to. So worked myself, built my profile towards these 2 roles, interned at JP Morgan, tried out a bunch of things, had for consulting placements.
He was the president of the finance club at BITS Goa also.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, so then towards the last semester when I prepared for consulting placements, didn't get through the placements, but joined JP Morgan for an internship. So there I realized that the kind of work I was doing was not what's making me happy. And the specific points that I picked up. Also, one more interesting story is when I was preparing for consulting placements, Grow had come in, and the first round of it was actually a product role, not a consulting role. So the first round of test was to build a product deck of any product you want to build. It doesn't have to be related to Grow or finance, anything. So I actually built it on Blue Learn.
Oh.
That's when I reached out to Shreyans. I used to get consent if I can use the logos and all. So in my mind, I like to romanticize stories. So I think that's where my initial joining Grown as a PM was seeded. So yeah, a couple of months later, Harish reached out to me that they're looking to hire someone for product role. So got into Blue Learn, and since then I've loved product because a lot of the things I've been doing were built on the basics I learned for consulting. So it's been great. What's that?
I come from the city called Vijayawada. That's where you're also from.
Yes, yes.
So I hated school 11th and 12th because I was studying in a concentration camp called, you know the names. So, well, that's where you studied too.
It's actually popular.
Yeah, let's not take the names though. So I hated it. I was in pure sciences. I was studying this concept called thermodynamics, which now you know. I was building these glasses which helps people to analyze their mental stress in real time.
Okay.
So my goal was to help therapists to analyze the patient's mental health in real time so that you can prescribe right medication.
Okay.
It's like a thermometer for mental health.
Okay.
So I was doing that. I was doing it really well, like everything is going great, and then I get into this concentration camp and I lose all my interest. It's actually concentration camp.
Correct.
So it starts at 8, ends at 8. You're not allowed to talk to girls, you're not allowed to mode off your bench, you're not allowed to do anything.
Correct.
So it was worst. And then I lost my interest in whatever has been happening, and then I was like, what is the next interesting thing that I want to do? And that's when I meet this guy called Richie. So we brainstorm, and then we were like, YoChamp is a thing that we're building, why not do it? So that's where season 1 is where you and I met.
Correct.
Season 2, season 3, season 4 is when we built it across 3 cities, 25,000 students, and that's when I was like, there's actually money in events. And I was like, how much can we milk out? And that's when we went to the AP government. And then we thought the government doesn't have money, but they actually have a lot of capital for stuff like this. You pitch them an idea in a way that is just so romantic, that's just so fantasizing that they would pitch it. I mean, pitching the master is over here. So, and events is something that I really liked. Like that sense of belonging, community is what I saw. And businesses, there's a lot of capital.
Correct.
And later that year, I was like, I want to get into a business school than an engineering college.
Okay.
So I wrote both the exams and then I got into Christ.
Okay.
I got into a very good engineering school. I don't want to take the names because this is scalar. And something that I've seen over there is that I met this guy called Jasmeer. So we were like, bro, you have that startup idea of glasses. Why do we not build it? And that's when we started pitching a lot of people. WeWork Labs is one of them. So they had this startup pitching competition. WeWork Labs, they invested. We were in talks for 25 lakhs for, I don't even remember how much percentage it was. Like as you said, like it's between 7 to 10%. So we were in first year of college, and that's a huge amount of money. And then we were in validation. We were talking with IISc, Indian Institute of Science, TIFR Hyderabad, and then Nimhans and Fortis. So these folks we were trying to build. Within that 1 month, the company valuation of WeWork goes from this, the number will be visible over here, to this. So that's how much drastic it was. And then we were like heartbroken because everything that we were promised is not happening. And then even we were happy that we are not there yet for the validation game. So we were like, let's go back, build something, and then come back. And COVID happened. We went back home. We started selling. Oh yeah, I was telling you. So I was selling these watches where you open them, you put sanitizer, and then you squeeze. It spits sanitizer. So I used to explain people that a watch that salvates, sanitizer to cleanse your body. So
Body or hand?
hand. So yeah, there's a lot of drama in every advertisement that we made. So our goal was we got it for like 30 rupees on Alibaba from China, and then we wanted to sell it in the US for $15. We were like, that's insane. How much was that? 15x.
Yeah, more than
What 15x? It's more than that. Yeah. Yeah, so we wanted to do that. But you know what happened? Anti-China movement happened. So the global trade with China cut off, and then, later that dropshipping started again. And me and my friend Manish, who were planning to do this, we stopped it.
So I have a question. Like, as a startup, how do you get people to believe in your startup and join it? Like, how hard it is for you as a founder to trust people?
It's hard to trust people because it's something that we've been working on, and but I think trusting people is not the hard part. The hard part is finding someone who aligns and resonates with your vision and then wants to join you at the salary that we can afford to pay, with the perks that we can afford to give. Now, thankfully, we have been VC backed, so we have a decent amount of capital, and it's not like we're not providing good benefits or perks, but a lot of other startups cannot, right? Those who have not raised VC funding. And I think it's mostly about optimizing for risk to reward, right? If you take a higher risk today, you have a better chance of getting a higher reward tomorrow. Versus if you take a lower risk today, you have a lower. Joining Scalar's first batch is a little bit of a risk, right? Of course. But you guys know that there is a chance you get a higher reward than joining a tier 3 college's 95th batch, right?
Correct.
So that's exactly where this whole thing comes in. And I think convincing people, making them excited about your mission, vision statements is the most important thing. And that's something that we look for also.
So the main reason you are able to hire good talent is actually the money that you actually raised.
No. Salaries is the one part of it.
Okay.
We can afford to give competitive salaries, no doubt.
Okay.
But I think the bigger part is the culture. Every single day you get to work with people who are smarter than you on cooler problem statements, have fun, and I think there's a popular saying is that you can measure how happy you are at work by how many times you laugh at work, right? And it's a very unpopular thing, right? But if you go to a corporate, you're probably not gonna laugh more than once a day, right?
Correct.
You come to Blue Learn, I guarantee you laugh 10 times a day because of Chandan only, bro.
We have a hall of lame actually.
So yeah, that's great. And let's talk about something that we don't have, college life. So we just want to know how your college life was, with your dating life, and how did actually relationship affect you or take you in a direction that you didn't expect, or something that is actually a real problem now. Because as of students here, we are completely focused, as you saw the ratio here. So I think it's not the same that happens in every college as well, and I think that's a very good thing that you guys are actually able to build something out of that, balancing both of them. So how was that in your college?
I think we'll start.
I think
Rohan.
Rohan, yes.
Rohan
So even Harish also mentioned that you're the hottest PM in Bangalore as well. So I think you're the best one to start with.
Okay, I'll start off with the most fancy question. Dating life. I was single throughout college, and that was a conscious decision I took before I even joined college. Like, I wanted to not get distracted, so I stayed away from all of that consciously.
Relationships are a distraction.
I thought they would.
Controversial.
Big statement. But apart from that, like, I think we got 1.5 years in college before COVID hit us. So that was like great. Today I feel like that was the most productive 2 years of my life. Even now I don't feel as productive as I was in college, because I was part of the cricket team and Shreyans at the finance club. So these would take up all of my time post 5 p.m. Till 5 p.m. was obviously ACADS and all of that. So I still think, how did I manage all of that? I wish I could do that now also. But yeah, I mean, the kind of things I got exposure to, the kind of people I met, what I could learn in those 2 years was really insane. And of course would be like always grateful to BITS for that. Unfortunately, we lost the next couple of years on campus, but towards the end we again got one sem, which was again great. Though we had a lot of restrictions because of lockdowns and all, but still getting back to your friends, staying in the hostel. And that was another thing, like I hadn't stayed independently till the time I joined BITS. So learning that whole part of staying independently, cleaning your own rooms, getting food. I mean, we had a mess, but still managing food, making sure you eat all 3 meals, which a lot of people in college don't do.
Correct.
So doing all of that was also like a great learning experience. So yeah, like I loved the first couple of years.
I think eating 3 meals a day is a great learning.
That's you did 3 meals a day.
Yeah.
Every day.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
That's it.
That's a
Wait, you
different
guys
kind
skip
of
or what?
discipline. Every day.
Breakfast, no, I don't think I ever. had
Breakfast,
one.
no one even has.
Still,
Okay.
still. But yeah, I mean, do you wanna?
No, you go. Dating life.
No, so college life, I think, was the
No,
bigger
we'll
question.
actually focus on that.
So, I actually did not. I was doing long distance for the first year of college, and then after that, broke up and nothing else. I did not have anything like that. I don't think relationships are distractions. But the ratio was 1:7, and out of those that one is mostly dating also someone else. So it turns out to be 1:14, 1:21 at times. But I think there's a positive side of that is that you would be focusing more on just other things, right? You're just hanging out with your friends, focusing on other stuff, and I think that was the bigger part of it. College life is very interesting. You see people who are in their room for 24 hours a day watching Netflix, and you see other people like Rohan who are just everywhere, like cricket and finance and studies, right? It's complete two ends of the spectrum, and I think that exposes you to what do you want to do, what do I want to do, right? Do I want to be part of this spectrum or part of this spectrum?
Right.
And it teaches you a lot of things. First time out of your house, living alone, like you mentioned. And so I think that was the biggest learning is which part of the spectrum do I want to be, and managing all that.
Yeah.
Chandan?
Hey, nothing much, bro. Very simple.
You are from Vijayawada, dude.
Yeah, that's exactly the point.
Nothing is simple in Vijayawada.
Hey. So yeah, my college life has been like a lot of ups and downs. I think my college life is just excitement, Death Valley, excitement, Death Valley, excitement, Death Valley. I think everything is like that, right? Like in the first year, I was just focusing on this absolute tech, the startup I was talking about, mental health. In the second year, I was COVID happened, got back home, so just building podcasts. So podcast is something that I love doing, and I run this podcast called High on Tranquility. So listen to that. Again, coming back, my college life during actual college, that's the final year, has been something like I used to wake up super early. I used to get my friend Manish to go to a park and then record videos. So the reels that I used to make for Blue Learn were made in a park. A lot of people gave me good feedback about that. And then I come from this college where 85% of attendance is mandatory.
Okay.
Right? And 85% is bare minimum for you to sit and take exams.
Okay.
So, and also every 5% will give you credits.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, I graduated with 92% attendance.
Oh, that's great.
Where Shreyans graduated with 0.
Hey,
You had 5%?
Oh.
Maybe.
Yeah, see.
5%.
I don't know. No one tracks attendance in bits.
Oh. It was the same here in the first 2-3 months of college as well.
And then they realized.
Yes. And I read offline.
Yeah.
Got it.
So it completely goes manual now, and we are stuck.
So until 4, I have classes. From 4 to 6, I am a part of a couple of clubs. Videography is something I'm very passionate about. And other than that, I used to be a part of this club called Center for Academic and Professional Support.
Okay.
Where we were trying to build Indian EDX, like the Stanford CS50,
Got
not
it.
in that production, but in a
Okay.
simple, small way. So we started something called Christ Online Writing Lab, the name of the college, Online Writing Lab. And then that got canned because of some management scene. And then right after that, from 6 to 9, I used to work on Blue Learn. We used to have like a lot of events, community catch up, because the community prime time is that.
Right.
So we catch up and then all of that. And yeah, try to sleep by 2.
Okay.
That's it.
So yeah, I think sleep cycle is also a very important thing during college as well. So
Yeah.
No
it
one
is messed
follows
up.
it, but yeah.
Correct, yeah.
Bro, I think if you wanna be awake now. That's it.
Okay, got it.
Now or in college?
No, now I mean in college, in this age, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is also right.
With Harish, Get Bold.
Hmm.
Like I would like to know what is it, and is it a new venture of Blue Learn or it's a separate entity?
In consumer tech, when we're building a startup, we can't put all of our eggs in one basket, right? We need to try out different things within the same domain of education around the thing. So while we were building Blue Learn, we realized that there's a gap for one-on-one learning. And we thought that Blue Learn is already working on helping students learn and get internships. If we see another gap in the market and we have bandwidth, why can't we start working on that also side by side, little bit, right? So that's what we're trying to do now. So with a small team, it's very early and stuff like that, but we're trying to figure out if there is demand and validation for one-on-one learning,
Okay.
similar to maybe like a White Hat or a Bright Champs type, but in a more structured, higher quality, more learning outcome focused way. And yeah, I mean, even for you guys, right? Like, never put your eggs in one basket. Right? That's
Correct,
never
correct.
good advice. Try out different things, especially if you have an insight or a gap in the market.
Mm.
Then it's the best way to address something.
Correct. And in college also, I think the first start of your doing something new,
Yeah,
I think that actually defines it, and later you start building things.
yeah,
So once you start something, even if it fails,
yeah.
the next step is much more easier than the first.
Of course, yeah,
So that is what we are thinking here also.
yeah,
Ki, try of building something that will actually pull out people to come out of the comfort zone.
yeah,
Start building something in one day,
yeah.
and later that will eventually excite you to build something
Exactly.
newer or something
You
much
guys
better.
should have build-a-thons.
Correct.
In fact, we do at Blue Learn, so we're happy to collaborate and have like a scalar
Sure.
Blue Learn build-a-thon.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure,
Maybe your 200 member classroom is crazy. It's really good.
You are the only one.
Hey,
that
I
is
think
it.
No,
it's a
genuinely.
very cool.
But the students are completely disappointed, including us. So the campus was really small.
But this is the first batch, right?
Yeah.
Correct, huh?
It's gonna get bigger. It's gonna
Correct,
get better,
correct.
no doubt, right? This is
So
the
we are
free
having
one.
a turf come here. Swimming
That's
pool.
crazy.
How can we intern at Blue Learn?
I'll tell you guys how. Check out our app, check out our website, break it down, find
Okay.
bugs, and then send us your suggestions
Got it.
on how do you think we
Mm.
can make Blue Learn more valuable for our users. That's what matters the most. Be it
Got it,
through
got
tech, be it through product, be it through marketing, be
Got
it through
it.
design. Doesn't matter what role you guys want.
Got it.
There's always ways to improve, right?
Got it.
And the best interns, the best hiring practice, what we do are people who go one step forward
Mm.
and send us, a little suggestion that shows effort
Correct.
that you've taken. I think
Got
that's
it.
the best. Yeah.
I think that's a good tip to approach startups as well.
Any
Yeah.
startup,
Any
100%.
startup.
Any startup, not just Blue Learn,
Correct.
definitely. That's how
But
anyone.
people eventually come up with a resume and just go on.
That,
I think that actually does not work now.
That doesn't work
I think
because-
that approach is very niche, and
Yeah.
you get to
yeah.
have a very good.
And it doesn't
position
take too
on-
much time also.
Correct.
Max 2-3 hours you
Correct.
spend, and if
Correct.
you're really invested, then why not?
Correct.
Right?
It's very.